Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. We can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. Well, hold on here. I don't even have the correct playlist up for the music. And that's way too loud. There we go. Good morning, Kevin. Always there bright and early. Thank you for being here. Well, I'm having issues actually though. I cannot get my data to connect. Is anybody else having issues with Rhythmic? I'm actually the way that it's doing it, because like I'll log in and it's like, oh nope, there's a problem. Contact administrator. So it might have something to do with like start of the year. I don't know. It is time to put some more cash in there to pay for data, but I would have thought that I would get like other, I don't know. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna take care of that regardless. Oh boy. It'll take a bit. Well, what can we do here in the meantime? And I'm sweating this morning. Well, so let's just zoom out and look at the various instruments from a 5-minute chart here on TradingView. So when we left here, let's see here, the last day that we actually traded was the 19th. So there has been a bit of movement since the 19th. I don't remember what the 23rd, what the deal was with the 23rd, but that is going into the holiday. Looks like they recovered it a little bit down. We tend to see really strong moves at the beginning of the year, and it does look like that, at least today, that they're kind of starting off on the downside. I am a little bit concerned that the move in the treasuries to start out will be down. But I don't really have a super strong, that's just me speculating what the big players want to do for this year. I'm still expecting 2 rate cuts this year. So make from that what you will. Here's the S&P 500, actually kind of less interesting. It's been pretty tight. They have been moving down a little bit, though. They did sell off pretty hard on Friday. Now, the other one we really got to check out, well, I'll just see if I can remember everything. I can see here in crude, so big happenings over in Venezuela. I think really taking a lot of the internet, at least, by surprise. Venezuela. Man, the camera's like way low. Let me fix that. That's better. Now it's not cutting off the top of my head. Good morning, APAW. Anyways, so Venezuela being invaded, and the initial knee-jerk reaction was to the downside, which makes sense. I mean, that's more oil supply. Now, the thing here is, like who has to rebalance their portfolio because of Venezuela? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't quite make sense to me, honestly. But that is going to be more sour crude supply out on the market, and that will affect your sweet light as well. Although I think that the effect is probably going to be much more pronounced in the Brent. But you can see that there's kind of like a bounce down here and a move up. Now, another thing that's going on, I should know, with oil, is I made a short. I only made the YouTube short. I didn't make the TikTok short. I'm kind of fed up with TikTok because they never do well on TikTok. Although I kind of question about YouTube shorts too, because they don't, to me, shorts are like really great for breaking news and things like that. But they don't like to do it that way. They want to continue to show you stuff like days and weeks later. Anyways, I think that this could be just the first sort of thing that happens like this. Okay. President Trump already has named 2 other South American countries, including Colombia, Mexico, and somewhere else, kind of warning them. And then in the meantime, over in Iran, there is a huge protest movement happening over in Iran, and the Shah of Iran is straight up taking over certain cities. Like they're just setting up and starting to administrate cities. So there's real speculation that the supreme Ayatollah or whatever, supreme leader over in Iran, could flee to Moscow. That is a real possibility. And that would mean even more oil out on the market. So, listen, oil's had a long, we'd really have to go back to a daily chart. Right, it's been a long, slow decline in oil ever since things ramped up. It's so crazy how quickly they ramped up going into the Ukraine war and how slowly it's taken for us to get back down there. Part of me says, well, oil, it's a little bit too cheap. But given the geopolitical circumstances, it could probably stay cheap for a while. So I don't know what to do with that. They're trading up pretty well in your portfolio. Oh, that's interesting. So, if I go to, Chevron, not that that's in your portfolio or anything. Yeah, they're doing okay. They haven't. No, that's very interesting. So, the oil companies have not really been hit that hard by oil prices not doing that well. But maybe that's because they're saying, hey, they're going to be able to move into Venezuela. They're going to be able to move into... well, I guess they wouldn't move into Iran, would they? But you get what I'm saying. Okay. Next one, we got to talk about gold. Oh my. Gold is just such a crazy chart. Is that not just one of the craziest charts you've seen? Well, okay, so since we kind of left, there was quite a move in gold and silver, which has since reverted, but they're doing okay since then. So this is a hard one. This is a really hard one for me, to be honest, because actually the silver chart doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. That's interesting. Can we zoom into this one so we can kind of see? Yeah, there was this one day where silver was really crazy, but then there was a hard sell-off. Some big boy said, okay, that's enough, and they took their profits. I have a hard time with this one because it's gone so far. The chart is starting to look to me oh man, this is just too crazy. It can't keep going like this. And yet then I look at it and I'm like, it doesn't seem like they're having too much trouble. I think this could keep going, and I see a lot of stuff suggesting that it could keep going. the thing is, I was in on it purely from the perspective of, well, there's gonna continue to be like tight supply on silver, so won't take very much for it to just go up, and you're having like central banks buying metals more than they have in the past. So that alone should kind of support oil price. But, that was silver, sorry, not oil price, gold and silver. But that was like, oh, if silver got above 50, now they're getting up to like 76. How do we justify that? I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy. So that's kind of one that I think I would be paying close attention to today. Well, this week. So let's see here. We got gold, silver. Do we really need to talk about anything else? I mean, there's some currencies and stuff, but anyways. Oh. Maybe I'm looking here. So I'm having data trouble. Oh my gosh. And I'm just realizing, oh, I was probably using different email? No. Well, let's just double check it real quick. Like, my first thought would be Algorithmic's having issues, but what happens is, like, it tries to log in, and then it says at the end, oh, there's a problem logging in, contact administrator. Which makes me think, well, like, I have drawn down. Like, I haven't been live trading, but it is time to put some more cash in there to pay for data. And I think that here in January, we can take some live trades. I would like to fund the account much more than what we've got at the moment, but so it could be that, and I kind of thinking like, well, wouldn't they tell me something, like I don't, and I'm not getting. It's been such a long time since I've logged into the Edge Clear either. It's like, where's my... I don't even think I have it saved in my 1Password. That's weird. Yeah, I'll just guess. Keeps telling me when I'm like, okay, so let's retrieve the password, and it says no, there's nobody registered with that email address. Maybe I don't have a login like that. Let's try this one. Nope. Oh yeah, I had to check. I could just get rid of those for now. I have 2 versions of that scene in there. Oh man, this is crazy. I haven't logged into Edge Clear Portal since 2023. So one of the things I got going on is I had the flu during the holiday. Like I wanted to have like a new video, guys. This year could not be starting worse. I feel. Anyways, I had the flu like hardcore. 4 or 5 days of like fever. Followed by like 2 to 3 days of just like absolute worst coughing, like really crazy green stuff coming up. And yeah, we're maybe now a week from that. I feel like I'm getting better. I still have like that post viral cough, you know, where you don't really have anything coming up, but you're still creating a lot of phlegm and whatnot. And I still kind of feeling weird about temperature. So like I feel like I'm sweating really hard right now, and I'm not sweating super hard, but I am a hot. Your wife had the flu? Yeah, I think it's the flu because my son, I guess, got tested and they told him he had the flu. And so I think that's where I got it from. But it was crazy. Like, I don't know if I've ever been that sick. I remember when I caught COVID, having a fever, and you know, it was like having a fever over the weekend, and then it was done and over with. But this was miserable. And then, guys, it messed me up so much too. Like, well, first of all, wasn't able to really do anything over the holiday. Didn't have a video kind of close to being ready to be recorded, but I guess I could have had a point where I could have recorded it, but I started reading the script, and there's still one part of it that I'm not happy with, that I want to improve. So, but I didn't do any of that, and like when it was done, I've been. You're gonna say that every time you get that? What? That I've never been that sick before? I really have literally never been. Well, I've never had a fever like that before. I've never had like a fever for as long and then coughing up just the most disgusting, huge green, yellow things. Which, yeah. Anyways, now I just cough up giant white things. Although not so much today. There was one time that I was more sick though, right? and that was like Christmas 2019 when I just had like the worst cough for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Right? I very distinctly remember that I got way more sick before COVID, and we thought, well, maybe I caught COVID before it, maybe it was out and running around before we knew it. But then I got tested and everything, and they said that I didn't have it. And then later I caught it. So, like the next year, I didn't catch COVID until, I think, the Christmas season 2021. It kind of sucks because I think that I've been sick over the holidays, like, a lot. But man, this one did something different. Cause I'm sick. I'm just sitting under blankets all day for days, and then I'm finally over it. Should be time to like start bouncing back and everything, and I'm just left with like the existential dread of life. Everything feels like it doesn't matter anymore. Why am I doing anything? Like, it's just really bad. I was moving this cord. I think my audio interface might be going too. This is another thing we get going on. But I just yeah, maybe there's a problem with this cord. Maybe I'm already need a new cord. That's weird. I guess it wouldn't surprise me that the kids did something and broke the cord. But these are like brand new. That's crazy. And I've gotten better, but I still feel like nothing matters. Especially this whole thing that's like, I got to drive all the way down. I took care of the car thing. But yeah, I got to drive all the way down to Provo every day, all the way back. And for what? So that I'm here, an hour or two. My family pretend like I'm not even there. Nobody cares. It's not that they don't care or anything like that. It's just like, what are you gonna do? The whole thing has just been messing with me, and to like when it's hard to do things and like YouTube isn't really rewarding you for it and everything. It's hard, and just this worse. It's like 10 times worse. I don't know if that's just like the virus has left. I have like post-viral depression or something. I don't know. It's super weird though, but it messed me up, man. Messed me up psychologically in a way that I can't explain. You wanted to make the indicator scrape volatility on the overnight. How can I do that? It doesn't seem to scrape overnight, only at the morning session. Oh, yeah. So there's a bunch of different ways that we could address that. And it's kind of just a question of like, yeah, but what would be the best way to do it? Right? Like, I could tell it to do it at certain times, and I could let you specify those times. But I think there is a time in the indicator, isn't there? And you can just change that time, and when you do, it should check at that particular time. Otherwise, you just hit F5 when you want it to happen. Vitamin D3. You know what? I have been getting this thing where like if I'll start to feel tired, like just there's different types of tired. I'm trying to think about which type of tired it is. It's like you just have no energy, right? And then I take a D3 and I have all the energy in the world. Yeah, creatine helps. Actually, I do wonder, well, So one of those things where it's like, oh, it's gotten better. It's gotten better over the past week. But why has it gotten better? Is it just because you're a few days removed from it? You're improving? I don't know. But I feel like that getting your system loaded up with creatine makes a big help. The log output says 12 a.m. If you refresh it on the overnight, it says I can't. Oh, really? Well, that might just be that website. Did you mean to? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I can't connect to Rhythmic. Let me try again. I don't think that there's anything that you would see, but I'm always try to be extra cautious. Let me try pulling it up one more time. When I try to log in, it goes through the login process. It really feels like that Rhythmic Trader Pro goes through like the whole login. Well, that time it did not. It kind of did it a little earlier. Yeah, it still won't let me log in. So that's why I just have this chart like this up. Okay. So then we're over here trying to be like, oh, okay, so we need to log into EdgeClear and maybe check a few things or something. And I can't figure out how I would log into EdgeClear. Well, there's the account portal, so let's try that. That one's gonna work. Yeah, that one worked. Interesting. Code. All good. I need a new PC really bad now. Mine can't handle anything anymore for some reason, so still working on new PC. RAM crisis crap sucks. Yeah. Dude, it's so bad. Although I wonder what why do you think it's just, it was working fine before, wasn't it? Or maybe it kind of always sucked, I guess. I don't know. That's funny. Well, let's just try doing an ACH transfer and see what it... Page isn't working. Philip's Capital must be really unhappy with me because everything is like not really showing. I mean, there's still... Oh, okay, that one shows. There's still some money in there. There should still be enough for the data and everything, so I don't know why it's complaining. But maybe they have this thing where it's like, if you go under a certain threshold, then they have issues. I don't know. If I try to do a transfer, I just get an error 500. So, yeah. let's try this. Let's try refreshing bank account info. And then it wants to go to played, which is like, So in the past, I've had mucho problems logging in to played, or yeah, because that's how they probably see it, played, right? Oh. Okay, so that's first thing is I know what's going on there. That's not what we want. So, yes, I think I know what's going on with that. No, well, it doesn't explain the larger things, but one of the things was that my bank changed things so that I have to log in with a different account to log into the business account, which who knows what that's about. Okay, so I need to go and do this on the correct account. I hate doing this, like talking about this, but I guess maybe I should just not talk about it and do it in the background, and then you'll all be surprised. Ah, okay. Doesn't like me. Username incorrect. Yeah, let's okay. So anyways, on the RAM crisis, man. Because like Nvidia is like saying they're going to make less graphics chips, and then the price for them is going to go out. My brother went and bought like a new card to get in before like all that crap happens. It's really wild, isn't it? Like it's going to be like $5,000. It's going to turn into $5,000 for a video card. Something about that doesn't compute in my head. Like, we're just gonna completely decimate the home computing field? What? Oh, that's interesting. So I've been looking at it because my boys are constantly want to play Minecraft. And they will play it even on the most terrible setup. And I, like the iPads and stuff. And then when they're trying to do it on the iPad, they're getting to the point now where things that they want to do that really require the mouse and the keyboard. So I would really like to have setups for them that are mouse and keyboard. And the thing is you could get like the cheapest PC. Like they make all of these little mini PCs and stuff with integrated graphics. Like, that'd be perfect. But like even one of those is like at least $500, and often that's like their bare bones one. That doesn't factor in the price of the memory. Maybe I don't have it. I'm so... Do you have problems with this? Which software we... Oh yeah, I'm having data problems. Rhythmic will not log me in. Yeah, no, like, you know what has happened is I haven't had to deal with anything for such a long time that I think that like my accounts are all kind of like messed up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm thinking, well, I don't know if this is the issue. I was planning on adding more money to the account to pay for data fees and stuff, especially since it's like $50 now for the fee. Like it used to be 30, now it's 50. Can you believe that? Inflation. Anyways, so I'm sitting here like, well, maybe it's because there's like $120 in there, like, so that should be fine. But maybe there's something in there that says like if you're below 150, then we don't let you log in or something. Who knows, right? So then I'm like, well, we got to do it anyways. Let's just go and do it. And now I'm having problems with the ACH transfer. It because my bank changed things. I can't see the business account from my main account. I have to log in with the business account directly. And so then when I come into Played, and try and log in with that different login, it says, no, you need to unlink and relink your account. Well, how the hell do you do that? Because the only option that it gives me, it logs in, goes directly to a login. Yeah. Usually, if anything, they charge it. Well, I don't get anything like that. I haven't gotten anything like that. I'm starting to get, like, starting to feel my brain go like seize up. Man, when I was doing this, so, when I got paid and I was going through and it was like, okay, like, I need to go and make sure that all the bills for the month and everything kind of lay out correctly, because I was getting paid every 2 weeks. And then before that, I was basically paid on the 1st or the 15th. But where I work now, they have this really bizarre pay schedule where the payday is always on Wednesday. So, like, don't know what the deal is with that, or why the dates that are the ones that happen when they happen. But basically, I don't get paid again until the 20th or something like that. So I was like, okay, I got to go down through the whole thing and make sure that that's not a problem. So I'm like updating the spreadsheets, and like at every step where it was like, okay, we don't know this. I have to go and get this information. I have to log in and go and get this thing. And you have an issue logging in. And like every point, my brain was just throwing a freak attack. Like, I think that I would call it brain fog. And I pushed through it and haven't had an issue since. And, you know, when I'm on my Adderall, that helps. But now I've gone through enough different pathways here that have all ended in failure that, you know, now I'm starting to have a hard time thinking here. Okay. Maybe. Of course, getting support probably requires me. No, maybe not. There we go. Okay. We're going. I've tried messing around as much as I can. I think that we just submit a support request to EdgeClear and they take care of it. But I think that probably my guess is that, you know, they have a threshold that's like 150 And because I'm below that 150 threshold, that's why it's putting up a freak out. I should have taken care of it in December. I was thinking like, oh, we're doing December, but there was a couple of like little unknowns and things, but no. So I think that probably what will happen is they will have to like reset my played account with Phillips, and then I can link it to that new account, and then it probably should be okay. Let's see. I should get the exact. Well, it's already been 45 minutes, so like. This is really frustrating. The funny thing is I'm not even sure I have like there's the login at Edge Clear, and I'm not even sure if I have one of those. I can't find anything to log into that. But I don't think that would help anything anyways. But probably that one's only useful if if you're using their platform, whatever it's called. Submits. Okay. Says made a ticket. Kind of interesting the way that the treasuries have gone so far, even though I'm like 10 minutes delayed. But it was kind of like the early morning bounce sort of a thing where you come in and everything looks like the momentum is to the downside. And then it like, as soon as you get in, it reverses and just goes higher all day. What do you think? I'm so frustrated, guys. I was saying to myself during the whole break, I was like, maybe we should just take care of that sort of stuff now. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do it in the new year. It's probably better that way. There's all sorts of reasons for taxes and all that it's just like everything gets split into 2026. And then sure enough, I come in, I can't log in. while we're here, let's see if I can get a. It's acting like I just don't have an account or something. So now the next thing is, okay, so I submitted a ticket. I would expect there to be some sort of a, you know, an email saying, oh, here's your ticket and yada, yada, yada. I don't see that yet. Yeah, it's definitely that. The account number that it's attached to is not the one that we want. You know what? I really think it is, though. It something that could be related here is that for some bizarre reason, all of a sudden in December, my business account is no longer like it used to be. I'd go into my regular account and I could see everything, and then all of a sudden they said, "Nah, we had to change that. Like you shouldn't be able." So I had to make a new login to be able to log in. Oh man, this cord is busted. I'm so mad. What did they do? They must have the kids must have like dropped the headphones. It's okay. They make lots of replacements for this. Cord is easy to replace. I just barely touch it though, and it. Oh, there we go. Man, I'm all over the place, aren't I? So, because when it comes in here, it says multiple balance verification issues detected. It's probably because the login details that it has can no longer see the account that it wants to see. That's probably what's going on. So I think the next thing I should do here, though, is I'm not sure if I even have like an Edge Clear account in their newest system. Maybe not. Maybe it's a Philips thing. If you go through Philips, then you just get one through Philips, and then is. So wait, what are their options? Stormin. And Iron Beam. Oh, look, here's a reset password for your Edge Clear account. Hey. Ah, yes. Okay, there it is. So it did get submitted, even though it's not sending me anything to my email. And I was finally able to find a way through Edge Clear to reset the password and all of that. So that's good. Oh, I log in with that one on the portal. It says incorrect. There got some things messed up. I think that what's happened. Tim Walls bails on I read that this morning. Dude, it must be so exhausting being a liberal trying to keep up with the news right now. Like, good grief. Because over the holiday there was that huge explosion of interest in fraud allegations in Minnesota. Yeah. And then Donald Trump decides to just do regime change in Argentina. Oh man. So So, what do you think is going on there with the Argentina thing? Because here's what I saw. Is Argentina's like, oh, we're going to do a partnership with China. The China delegation comes, they have this photo op, all of that sort of a thing. And that night, the U.S. goes in. Because they've been like, you know, saber rattling for not Argentina, Venezuela. You're right. Venezuela. They've been saber rattling over this for I want to say months now. It's been a long time. So why was it all of a sudden it just happened then? Unless this really was always about China. Because when this came about, there was also some curious things in the media, everything that kind of made me wonder what's going on. Like that the United States got some sort of intelligence that says that China's plan is to create as many headaches for the United States as it possibly can around the world, so that when China decides to go into Taiwan, that the U.S. won't be able to do anything. I think Maduro wanted a way out and Trump gave it. I don't know if that really makes sense, dude. They just elected a communist in New York City, so he spends a better chance of walking out on New York City courtroom fresh and clean than he did any. I don't think so. I'd like the issue is that he did do it. He number one, they are involved with narco terrorism, and two, he did basically like lose the election and change the election result unilaterally. It's just what happened in Venezuela is just absolutely bonkers. And it's not like how do you indict a world leader on possession of a machine? No. It was I'm not even sure what you would indict him on. I just told you the things that he did, but I don't know what the formal charges for those things are. You know what I mean? One of his indictments is... Oh, wait. Do we have the indictments? Indictment has been unsealed. Let's see here. Read the indictment here. Blah, 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 blah. Narco terrorist organizations. I thought I was just going to get a good clean list here. Violation of a 1934 firearm law. I really think it's a China thing, guys. So like, I like to tell you, one of the things that I've been seeing a lot that I think is like the most brain dead, perpetually online Redditor dumb comment about the whole Venezuela thing. Okay. Is they're saying, we can't do this. It's a disruption to the international order. It's not allowed under international law, and this just gives China free reign now to go and invade Taiwan whenever they want. As though like China was sitting there. Oh, I am sorry, President Xi. We cannot invade Taiwan because it is against international law. And he's like, oh, foiled again. But then, 2 days ago, we go into Venezuela and it's like, yes, now we can finally do it. Does anybody really think that that's what's going on in China? Let me tell you something. If China had the ability to take over Taiwan as quickly as the United States just took over Venezuela, they would have done it years ago. They would have done it years ago. The only thing stopping China from invading Taiwan is their ability to do so without it causing a complete clusterfuck, right? That's the reality over there. I gotta understand. The world has changed. It really has. Now we're kind of in this, I wouldn't say it's a multipolar world per se. It is still the United States and then everybody else. Okay. We're still in the sole superpower world. But the power balance amongst everybody else underneath of that has changed. And what is it that is like the future? What are the things that are going to determine the balance of power in the future? It is almost completely access to resources that in many cases are difficult to get to, and you have to deal with very unsavory people to get them. Particularly the rare earth minerals. Remember that basically like your phones and all of that are driven by minerals that are basically mined in these open field mines with slave labor. It's crazy, right? So what this does is it basically creates an incentive for countries to act in what I'm going to refer to as extrajudicial means. So, you know, if there was a different administration in place, would they be doing this Venezuela thing? I think probably not, but we probably don't have enough information to know that. But I'll tell you, if it was a different administration right now, like if it was the Kamala Harris administration, I bet you she would have her axe to grind right now. And that she would probably be taking some sort of seemingly extrajudicial action, and the Republicans would all be complaining about how this is a complete usurping of the international order and yada, yada, yada. Right? You've got to realize that the international order, as it existed 50 years ago, is now defunct. Doesn't work anymore because the whole incentive structure underneath of it has changed. You'll kind of try and make it seem like that you're following it, but the reality is that what is the international order right now? The United States does what it wants and don't piss them off. That's what it is. And it does seem that the U.S. administration's biggest concern is China creating difficulty for the United States around the world, particularly in South America. And in every case where China was starting to get involved and do things, whether it was with the Panama Canal or Venezuela, or just countless other tiny little things, the Trump administration has come in and basically put a stop to that immediately. Yeah, China wants that spot. Every other nation on Earth is just grains of sand. China and the US walk on. Well, China definitely wants to invade Taiwan. There's no question about it, right? They straight up, they were going to do it. I mean, wasn't the original timeline... You know what? This would be a good question for ChatGPT. What is the current estimated timeline for China to invade Taiwan? I thought they were already going to do it in 2025. Here's the most current expert informed picture as of early 2026 of the timeline and likelihood of a full-scale Chinese invasion of Taiwan, and it's probably not exactly what the 2025 invasion talk you've heard implies. I'm surprised that ChatGPT is willing to answer this question. No major intelligence or defense community now predicts a guaranteed invasion in 2025. Even forecasts that once cited 2025 have shifted, and many analysts now point towards a broader window spanning the mid to late 2020s, with 2027 being a frequently mentioned milestone for potential capability, but not a firm invasion date. Here's how it breaks down. China military capability. U.S. defense officials and analysts have frequently cited 2027 as the year the People's Liberation Army might have the capability to undertake a full amphibious invasion of if Beijing decided to do so. This idea comes from senior commander statements that the PLA will likely be more credible as an invasion force by that date. Risk window, not a deadline. Many think tank analysts describe a conflict window roughly 2024 to 2028, where China's rising military strength and geopolitical timing make Taiwan tensions most acute. An actual invasion is far from certain, but this period is seen as when conflict is most plausible if Beijing were to choose it. Short-term likelihood, detailed military risk reports currently place the probability of a full invasion in the next year at very low, with China very likely to continue intimidation, coercion, and military pressure rather than outright war. So before 2028. Okay. China has an advantage in the fact that they aren't supporting half the planet financially. Okay. Like, here's the thing. Yes, the United States gives a lot of money to all sorts of countries. I don't think it's, oh man, hold on. I just moved the cord just barely the wrong way, and it's gone. It's toast. I need to get a new cord today. I wonder if maybe I have one already somewhere. Anyways, what was I saying? Yes, the United States spent a lot of money on foreign aid, but most of that money comes back to the U.S. anyways. Like, most of it is, we'll give you money so that you can use that to buy U.S. weapons. The U.S. is getting a benefit from it in some way. And two, the actual amounts, while they seem like crazy huge to us, are like a drop in the bucket in the larger, like, U.S. budget, right? So, like, if this really was like the U.S. supporting half the planet financially, it would be way more money than that, you know? So I don't really think that is too big of a deal. But China does want to be like the U.S. And I think that one of the things that's going on right now is that China is kind of seeing that their demographics aren't what they thought they were. And so they're similar to like what Russia is doing right now, or kind of saying like, now is the chance for us to do that stuff because we won't be as strong after that. So we're going to try and do it now. I guess the thing is China wants to invade Taiwan. Let's just straight up, they want to invade Taiwan. And don't doubt similar things for Russia, okay? These are like ideologically based positions from both of these regimes. Not that Russia is able to take over all of Ukraine right now, But it's really looking increasingly likely that there will be some sort of territorial concession on the part of Ukraine. And when that's done, Russia's going to continue to try and push and find a way to take over all of Ukraine, almost certainly. And then if they get that, they'll go after the other countries. It's an ideological thing. Absolutely. And the only thing stopping it is United States military might. It's really kind of interesting to think about this from the perspective of like domestic politics in the United States with Trump. Because, you know, what he did really was quite the shock. Like, that we just go and arrest the leader and pull him out of there is... I think many presidents would not do that. But the thing is that like once one guy has done it, like the door is open and now everybody after that will do it, right? And so President Trump has really created a world where the world is even more dependent than ever on U.S. military strength. So do you see what that kind of does domestically? Like whoever it is, the next election, a really, really big topic of discussion will be if they're going to be tough international, or what do we call it? Foreign policy. If they're going to be tough foreign policy. You know, like that's always been a topic and something that people have been concerned about. But it now all of a sudden it turns into like a do or die thing. Like we literally cannot allow a president that's weak on foreign policy to come in because we are now so heavily dependent on the U.S. being strong military power because of some of the choices that Donald Trump has made. It's kind of curious. Man, I'm so upset about this cable. How did they bust it up like this? It's so weird. It really must have been like they fell on the floor and the cord was like right there and went tick. China is not willing to import the global south and destroy its legacy. Well, I don't think anybody... I don't know. Am I wrong? It really feels to me like the whole immigration thing has reversed pretty much everywhere. Like, surely there are plenty of left-wingers out there that they still believe it in everything. But it has become so politically toxic. I think you're going to see over time political parties back off from that one. The sentiment has, yeah. Well, I would call it the political calculus has changed, but the demographic math hasn't. In that we're looking at population declines, and many of the entitlements and benefits that we have are heavily dependent on continued population growth. So what are you going to do? But at this point, I think what's more likely is that benefits just get cut. And who knows? Maybe you know, AI all goes well, and you know, we don't need as much money for retirement or for healthcare in the future. I could only hope. Maybe it all works out, folks. You never know. But the whole you just push the immigration as hard as you possibly can and import as many voters as you can for yourselves, and it'll all work out sort of strategy that the Democrat Party has been pursuing has been a bust. In your travels having that many traders, do you think traders tend to lean conservative? No, I don't. I don't think that there is any significant political leaning. If anything, it's probably they lean slightly liberal, simply because it's the liberal people that have the money and the opportunity to really day trade. So especially among day traders. Like really, the whole thing is you have to put a lot of effort to really be competitive day trading. You really have to know a lot about the market. So who is it that has the money and the free time to pursue day trading? Basically just tech workers. Basically just tech workers. They tend to lean liberal. People would have less of a problem with immigration as a political topic if the assorted iterations of the Western left wouldn't make so many excuses for it. I mean, the thing that's really wild is that the immigration issue in Europe is like way different from the immigration issue in the United States. And that just kind of shows you how left-leaning Europe actually is. Because if they were doing similar things here in the United States, people would be having absolute conniption fits. Like, man, politics in the United States would be so much worse. Maybe if we treated immigration as a reward instead of a... I mean, ultimately, the issue that you're seeing in pretty much every issue is that we've had a status quo that has remained for so long that is no longer viable, but we're unable to change that status quo with law. And so everybody's just kind of doing an end run around that law is really what it comes down to. The U.S. immigration system, in my opinion, is antiquated, needs updating, and there's no way you're ever going to get Congress to make a law about it, right? And the pro-immigration forces kind of took advantage of that, basically to the point that, like, everyday people started feeling the effects of it and started complaining. Because they always pretend, more people the better. It's just objectively better for everybody if there's more immigration. Well, the people at the lower end of the income bracket would beg to differ. My place isn't to say it should be this or that, as was just kind of reading the tea leaves. This is where it seems like it's going. And it seems like, especially in the United States, that the tide is turning in favor of less immigration, more enforcement. And Donald Trump has basically completely closed the valve off. Like the immigration is completely stopped. It's having such a profound impact on the politics. I really think that it would be very difficult for some Democrat president to come in and just open the floodgates again. Like, with what Biden did, it's already basically like, okay. And this pretty much proves that it is just that the lefties trying to import voters, right? So now they fix the problem, and then you unfix the problem. Now you can't argue it anymore, right? They just want to import voters. Sorry if that offends anybody, but that's just like the way that it is, and I think that changes the political calculus of it. So it just seems like it's not a good issue for Democrats anymore. They thought, oh, we're just going to scream about, immigration, and they're going to be deporting people and all of this stuff. And that's what they've been doing through the whole first year of Donald Trump's term, and nobody cares. It's like it's not helping Democrats. The Democrats like have a really major issue with credibility among the American public, and part of it is their stance on immigration. Wow, you say that, but people were screaming not to do it the first time too. Yes, but the first time people were able to argue, well, this is what would be the good policy, and the problem is this over here, and now it's clear. You're opening the floodgates because you want more immigration, because you think these people will vote for you. Like, I really don't see how you make a different argument. And that's why I keep saying that, like, I think that the political calculus has changed. And it doesn't seem to be helping Democrats anymore. Because immigration, like, let's be honest. For a long time, it seemed like the immigration issue really helped the Democrats. Most Americans were like, yeah, immigration is good. We should have as many immigrants as we can possibly handle. Well, okay, there's people coming over illegally, but, you know, there's the issues. They can't work them out. It's all okay. It's fine. They're coming over. It's not hurting anybody. It's fine. But now that the people can see that, like, how easily you can actually turn on and off the spigot, you know? So, well, it could change again, but I think that at least for the next election, I think that for the next election, immigration is not going to be an issue that helps Democrats. But even in the UK, like the thing is that these kind of immigration issues, and like we're importing too many people that don't share Western values. It seems to me that most people have kind of come to the conclusion that, yeah, actually, we don't think that these things are good. So the left pushes it against what most average citizens want. All the polling that I've seen on this has been that people don't like it. People don't like it, but, you know, politicians are able to do things in a way that kind of people look the other way, right? It seems like Maduro is having a good time. Oh, willingly took pictures with people. I don't know, Uzi. I really kind of feels to me like you've come up with this theory that's so left field. I can't even imagine where it's coming from. It doesn't really make sense with anything else to me. But again, with everything with Venezuela, there's clearly information that we don't have, isn't there? There's clearly something about this that put it all of a sudden at the top of the U.S. administration's list that nobody can seem to explain. And there must be some sort of intelligence that we don't have. I'll tell you my theory. I'm used to seeing criminals go free for literally any crime. No, I really don't see any... I mean, he won't get the death penalty or anything. He'll just be in prison for the rest of his life. I mean, he's guilty. I think they have a pretty open and shut case with him. A guy turning himself in is an out of this universe conspiracy theory? I mean, at what point can you say this conspiracy theory is a wilder conspiracy theory than this conspiracy theory, right? Like they're all ideas that don't have any basis and evidence or fact. There are people saying, what, you know, I don't have all of the pieces, so what is a possible viable explanation for it? And that's where all conspiracy theories come from. But what is left field about it is, like, why would you even think that up? Like, there's plenty of things that, you know, well, these are the common ones that the internet, like, common explanations that the internet turns to. This is not something that I have seen anybody say. So that's why it's like a wild theory to me. Which is why I'm kind of sitting here like, you seem like really, really sure about this. You know? And in a way that makes me think like, well, there should be a way for us to test this. There should be a way for us to say, you know, either that was true or wasn't true, like a betting market or something. But it's like still too amorphous. That how would you say that it was? Maybe you never conclusively show. Anyways, it's just too weird. Maybe he just felt the potential but I mean, we did have the armed conflict though, right? What's normal working travel time? Well, so now we gotta quit right now, actually. Man. Too many things going on, folks. I'm really frustrated today, but it's okay. I guess we don't have to do anything. It'll be okay. And fix the headphone issue. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll still be here, even if we still have data issues. But yeah, if I'm still yapping at 8 o'clock, you should tell me to get going. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay excellent.